And I think as I talk about the people of Claremore, the prominent people that has done and pushed things along, as I say, I think Mr. Hammond, I think he served 2 terms or so as mayor, or more. He served more than any. I do know that he did, and had the Hammond House there, which is still there, serving good food. I go up there myself right now, and I get food. But the Hammonds, Mr. Hammond and them, they did hire a lot of blacks. A lot of black worked for them at that restaurant. I do know. Mildred Harlan, Mary Trailer, all of those people that worked up there at the Hammond, that worked at the Hammond House, and they had, and just like Dorothy, yours, Dorothy, Mr. and Mrs. Ellis, her dad had the mill, and her mother had the dress shop, and her and Mrs. Baker, and they had the dress shop down at the Mason Center. So all of these people and were instrumental here, and the blacks worked for them. A lot of the blacks that worked in the houses, in the homes, and done housework and all of that stuff, which was ironing and washing and cleaning house and so forth. That's what a lot of them did here for us making a living. And then they got the opportunity to go to work at American, at Douglas and American Airlines and so forth. And the things began to get better. But as I was talking about the black community on South Missouri Street, they also had a couple of gentlemen had some hogs down there. Well, see, where I live off of South Muskogee on Jordan Street, 309 West Jordan Street. That's right south of the city hall, if you know people that don't know. Well, see, that wasn't in the city limits. That wasn't in the city limits when I moved there in that house. And what I had to do, the trash truck came right down the middle of the street, but my house on the other side was out of the city limits. The street was the dividing line between the city. And I had to take my trash can across the street and set it over there for the trash guy to empty. And they were still going right down the center of the street. So, but anyhow, they saw that before it came into the city limits, there was hogs. Mr. Son White and Mr. Coleman they raised hogs at South Muskogee Street there, where that park is there down on City Park. They had a big hog pen there, and they picked up garbage, just like Barbara was talking about at the stores and things, and fed it to their hogs. All the stores that throwed out food and stuff like that, garbage, they picked it up, and that's what they fed their hogs. But in later years, as time went on, the government, they regulated that you couldn't feed that, or you had to cook it. You had to cook that garbage before you fed it to the hog, because of so many diseases and germs and this and that and so forth that's being transmitted. But they had a big cooker, a place where they cooked that garbage before they fed it hog. And then after a period of time, this regulation and thing got so strict, and the city began to expand, they did away with all of that. You couldn't have that in the city limits, of Claremore. So, but just like I say, it's been a lot of good times here in Claremore. I just have enjoyed a lot of it, and it's really been a good ride. It's been a good ride.